Harper and her husband are divorcing after she discovered that her husband had been unfaithful. However, her husband demanded that she pay him monthly for living expenses, even though they are divorced. Harper, having lost patience with her ex-husband's repeated demands, decided to change all her contact information. Even after changing all her contacts and ignoring her ex-husband's calls, she continued to be pestered like this. I don't understand why my ex-husband is asking me for living expenses, even though we are getting divorced because of his mistake. I would like to start with the circumstances that led to my divorce. I'm a 28-year-old woman working for a cosmetics company. My husband is the same age as me, and we had been married for 3 years. I thought our relationship was good, but one day, my husband suddenly began to act differently. When I observed my husband's behavior, I found that he started taking his phone everywhere with him, including the bathroom, bath, and bedroom, which was very suspicious.
I would ask her, I was like, you need your phone when you go to the bathroom or take a bath.
Who do you keep in touch with so often?
I'm getting an offer from my boss at work to be a full-time employee. I know I've been getting a lot of calls from work lately, so I need to make sure I have my phone with me at all times, so...
I'm glad to hear that you're going to be promoted to a permanent position. I responded as if I was convinced, but there was no way that a boss would contact someone that often, even if it was one might be promoted to a full-time position. My ex-husband was a freelancer, so I was happy for him to get a full-time job, but I thought this behavior was suspicious, so I began to pay attention to his behavior. A little while later, I received a call from a mutual friend of ours. The friend was an employee at the restaurant where my ex-husband worked, and she was his superior. We were close and we kept in touch quite often.
Harper, I've been a while. I've been trying to get in touch with you.
Evelyn, what's up? What's going on? I heard my husband might be promoted to an employee promotion. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There is no mention of that among our employees. I looked at my friend's reaction and thought, I knew it. He had been working part-time for a long time, and there's never been any talk of promoting him as an employee. So, for him to be promoted just recently is too convenient. In other words, my ex-husband's story the other day was a complete lie. If William was going to be promoted, I would have talked to you about it. Did William say he was going to be an employee? No, you're right. I apologize for the confusion. I'm talking about this. What is it that you ever and knew out about anyway?
Since William was going to be promoted, I would have talked to you about it.
Did William say he was going to be an employee?
No, you're right. I apologize for the confusion.
I'm sorry, I was talking about this. What is it that you called about anyway?
I want you to listen to me, calmly. Your husband and a part-time girl have recently been having a suspicious relationship. The part-time girl is named Jennifer, and they have been having tea together at a nearby cafe during their breaks from work, and they seem to be in frequent contact with each other. I thought it would be a good idea to tell you about it, and I just want to let you know to be on the lookout for it in case something happens.
Oh, right. Thanks for reaching out to me. I've actually been thinking that my husband has been acting suspiciously lately, too. I will keep an eye out for him on my end. I thanked my friend and hung up. When I hung up the phone, I knew that he wouldn't be so quick to turn tail, so I didn't expect to get any information from my ex-husband that very night.
I'm home, haha, I'm tired. I'm tired.
My ex-husband came home late that night after working dinner hours that day. He usually has a staff meal, so I'm always the only one who eats dinner. My ex-husband takes a bath as soon as he gets.
Harpy and Athi side. Look, Harper, you didn't look through my phone, did you?
You have a lock on your phone, don't you?
I would never do such a thing. The screen of the phone, which had been left there randomly, came on and I just saw the messages and incoming calls. Now, let's talk about your relationship with Jennifer. I'm guessing that the reason you've been carrying around your phone all these days is to keep in touch with Jennifer.
Well, that's my ex-husband's eyes wandered from right to left as if he was trying to cover it up.
So you's trying to hide it.
My ex-husband seemed to be convinced that he could no longer get away with this, and began to talk about his relationship with a woman named Jennifer.
Jennifer is a part-time worker at our restaurant. She is 22 years old, just graduated from college, and very honest. I thought she was cute when I first started working there, but Jennifer seemed to like me too, and recently we started having tea together during our breaks and communicating frequently.
Are you trying to say you've been cheating?
Yes, I would say so. I think it's cheating in the eyes of some, sorry, but we really haven't been doing anything other than having tea at cafes and keeping in touch.
We haven't gone on any dates or anything, just that we have gotten to know each other recently. Although they had never been on a date or had any physical contact other than having tea at the cafe, our marriage had been affected to the extent that we had become distant from each other at home. I was not ready to forgive him so easily.
Jennifer knows you are married, but you two have been having tea together and contacting each other, right?
I could only see a few of your messages, but they were very intimate.
Billy.
I don't know. She still talks like a student and speaks very openly. I guess that's why it seems so intimate to you. My ex-husband's excuses don't change the fact that he was cheating on me.
Please, now that I know you're cheating on me. I don't think we can continue our marriage.
I'll get the divorce papers tomorrow, and we will get divorced right away.
He said, wait a minute.
I can't believe you would decide to divorce me so quickly after just one affair. You could have taken a little more time to think about it, time to consider whether or not you forgive me. My ex-husband wanted to convince me to reconsider the divorce, but I couldn't forgive him for the way he said it.
Only one affair. I said...
What are you talking about after cheating on me? I'm not going to change my mind, so be prepared. If I go through your phone, I will find plenty of evidence of the affair, and I will also charge you for your actions through my lawyer, so please be prepared for it.
Okay.
My husband, perhaps put off by my vigor, slumped and fell silent. My intention to divorce was firm. I got the divorce papers from the city hall the next day and asked my ex-husband to fill them out and submit them. It took some time, but I found a new apartment and decided to move out on my own. I was so happy to be able to get away from my cheating husband. I thought I was going to be able to live comfortably on my own from now on. As a little while after we started living apart, I received a phone call on my phone from my ex-husband. I had decided to go through a lawyer for alimony, so I answered the phone and wondered what it was about. But I guess it was a mistake to answer the call in the first place.
I don't have enough money to live on.
Because you know, when I was living with Harper, you paid my rent and utilities, right? You know my account number, right? Could you transfer some living expenses to it every month?
Duh.
Why should I transfer your living expenses to your bank account? You and I are already divorced, remember? My ex-husband was a freelancer, so his income was low and I was paying most of the rent and utilities. My ex-husband was only paying for a small portion of our living expenses.
That's you don't say that.
We're an ex-couple for the love of God. Even if we got divorced, we should still take care of each other's needs. At just $500 a month, just transfer the money to my account.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
We're divorced, so we're strangers. Don't be silly. I'm not going to send you any money, so don't contact me at all anymore. I'll contact you through my lawyer about the affair. I'm not even going to call or message you directly.
I'll be so cold about it.
Your ex-husband is having a hard time making ends meet. Don't you feel sorry for him?
I don't feel sorry for you one bit.
You brought this situation on yourself, so why don't you show some remorse? I hung up the phone, ignoring my ex-husband, who was still on the other end of the line, sounding like he wanted to say something. He's divorced and can't make ends meet on his own, so he wants his ex-wife to help him out with living expenses. Since my ex-husband is the one who cheated on me in the first place, I should be the one to get alimony. But he's so selfish that he asks me to support him after he himself cheated on me and divorced. I thought it was ridiculous for me to pay for his living expenses, so I decided to ignore his living expenses demands. However, my ex-husband's demands for living expenses did not end with this one time.
Harper, I can't live on my own.
I can't live on my own. I'm sorry for cheating on you, but I need you to help me pay my bills. Hey Harper, don't ignore me. I want my monthly living expenses. As my ex-husband called me every day, and every time I ignored him, he left a voice message. Not content with that, he sent me several messages every day. All of them were demanding his living expenses. Sometimes he would ask me to do it in a condescending, catty manner, and other times he would yell at me in an obsessive, compulsive manner. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to change all the numbers and email addresses on my phone. Up here over the weekend, I headed to the cell phone store to switch to a low-cost SIM and get a new phone as well. I decided to switch to a different cell phone company and change my phone while changing my phone number and email address.
Welcome. Are you looking for a new phone?
I was thinking of switching cell phone companies and changing my phone while changing my phone number and email address. Are there any popular phones these days?
Well, we just got a new one a few days ago. This model is very inexpensive for the features it offers.
The shopkeeper politely explained and compared various models with each other. I had a hard time deciding which one to choose, so I decided to go with the newest model, the white one.
Here's if you are looking to switch from another company, We are offering a special campaign right now. If you plan to use the same amount of data, you can get a great deal with this plan.
Explanation of the campaign and the plan was easy to understand, and the changeover went smoothly. I went home feeling very good about the courteous service I received from the clerk and relief of not hearing from my ex-husband anymore. I contacted my lawyer and told my ex-husband that I was going to ask for alimony through my lawyer. In addition, I asked him to leave a message that my ex should not contact me directly anymore. After I changed my phone, my ex-husband stopped contacting me and I was able to get back to my normal life. However, as I had expected, my ex-husband was not one to give up just because he could get in touch with me. One day, I received a DM from an unknown account on a social networking site I use. I looked at the message and saw that my ex-husband had found my social networking account and had contacted me.
Do you think you'd change your phone number and email address?
I've been in real trouble because I can't contact you directly, but I'm glad I found your social networking site. I can't wait for you to send me the money for this month's living expenses. It's $500 per month. I'll be waiting. I immediately blocked the account and decided to continue ignoring it. However, my ex-husband kept recreating the account and sending me messages from my social networking DMs. No matter how many times I ignored the messages, he continued to send them. So I asked the company to deal with him directly, but there was no improvement in the end. After that, my ex-husband continued to use social networking sites to contact me like a stalker and to extort money from me. I thought I had no choice but to take legal action, so I decided to consult with the lawyer's office that I used to file for alimony. The lawyer was strong in cases such as online stalking and was very kind to me. The lawyer first requested disclosure of my social media IP address and found out that my ex-husband was the owner of the account that was sending me persistent DMs on my social media. Then I sent a certified mail to my ex-husband, warning him to stop following me. I told him that my attorney had intervened on my behalf, that his behavior constituted stalking and threats, and that if he continued, I would take legal action against him. I was considering filing a civil lawsuit if he continued to follow me around. After sending the certified letter, I decided to send my husband a DM just once. I said, "I know you received the documents from the lawyer, but please don't contact me again because I'm considering a lawsuit if you continue to harass me. Why? How am I going to make a living if I can't contact you? Why don't you earn your own living expenses? Don't forget that I have a lawyer behind me. I've blocked his account.
Oh no, wait a minute.
Don't abandon me, Harper." And after sending this DM, I blocked my ex-husband's account. I guess he gave up on creating a new account and stopped sending me DMs and messages. I guess my ex-husband knew that if he was sued legally, he would lose for sure. Information about how my ex-husband is making a living from my lawyer and my mutual friend who I had mentioned before. My ex-husband could no longer make ends meet with just one part-time job. so he had to work 2 part-time jobs to live on. Of course, I have demanded a large amount of alimony for the affair and repeated threats of demanding money for living expenses, which I'm sure he will have a hard time paying. He told Jennifer, with whom he was having an affair, that he was looking for a job. But when he told her that he was stuck working part-time, she gave up on him as well. Having an affair, that he was looking for a job. But when he told her that he was stuck working part-time, she gave up on him as well. The $700 monthly rent he was living with me was too expensive for him to pay while paying alimony. So he moved to a cheap 30-year-old apartment and is living alone. He tried to ask his parents for help once, but they were furious when they heard the reason why he forced me. My ex-husband has been asking his friends for my contact information and searching social networking sites, but his friends have promised not to share my contact information with my ex-husband, and he has a warning letter from my lawyer, so he can't do what he pleases anyway. I even resurfaced my social networking accounts and got back to a real peaceful routine. From what my friend told me about my ex-husband's prospects, he would not have been able to get a real job, and I think it was a good decision to divorce him, considering he is now a freelance who depends on me for his income. I thought it would be good to not think about marriage for a while, even though I was free from any contact from my ex-husband. But recently, I found someone at work that I'm interested in. He is a very good worker who is kind to everyone and is always ready to help me when I have a problem. I don't know if things will progress because he is kind to everyone, but I think my work and personal life will be fulfilling because I enjoy just having a crush on him enough. From now on, I want to take care of someone who takes care of me. With help of her lawyer, she was able to fight off her stalker ex-husband. Harper's ex-husband is now living alone in a cheap apartment. Considering what he had done to Harper, he deserved what he got. Thank you for watching. Please give us a high rating and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep up the good work. I'd love to hear your comments, so please feel free to leave them. See you in the next video.